Good morning. Or better yet, yo, good morning. How we doing, chat? Happy Monday, everybody. Markets are open. Currently down 0.7%. We had a very strong Friday. Is it a dead cat bounce? Stay tuned to find out. Ryan's trying to play some mental gymnastics on me right now, or mental warfare. This morning is going quite splendid, as you're aware. This man got a shot of 14 or something on 14 on Kinda Hard Golf. He's been trying to get in my head all morning. Love the new content. Glad you're liking it. But we're putting out a short today at 10 o'clock or so. We're going to experiment sometimes, but 10 o'clock, short a day. One long form video a week is the plan. We got the base hits video dropping this week. Streams every day. Streams are getting left up so that we don't have to deal with the recap channel right now. And we're back on the train. All right, y'all are talking about Kinda Hard Golf. It's time. I'm going to rip it real quick. I wonder if there's a world probably not. That's a bummer. Definitely lost some serious strokeage there. Pause. Lost some strokes. I mean, that's just finesse to the best of the ability. It's ultimate finesse. What's the play here? Just not that. Well, I passed it, bro. What? Oh no, Ryan is. I know Ryan is just cheesing in his room right now. So unfortunate. All right, I gotta get there in 2. It's quite literally not possible. That's sick. Shoot. Unless I can skip it somehow. It's my only shot. Oh, that's such a bummer. This is just not going the way I wanted it to. This is just such a prime example of put me in the hardest course possible and I'm going to go low. Put me in something easy like this where everybody does well because it's so incredibly easy and I can't do it. You know what I mean? Those just super easy courses get me. All right, news on the session chat. We've got, let me pull it up. We've got nothing. 10-year New York Fed 1-year inflation expectations at 10 o'clock. Other than that, nothing. All right, we've got VWAP up at 120. Yesterday's value high 170. Overnight lows is what we barely swept. 70, 970. We go back down to the overnight lows. We're going to go down to 870. After that, it'll be a 100-point rotation down to yesterday's value area low. If we can get above current highs on the day, really above 80, watching for the 80 to 20 rotation up into VWAP. We pop that. We're looking at yesterday's value area high. Get above 180. Watching for the 340 rotation higher. Got a block here. 900 contracts. 900 contracts sitting at 25.89. The last year, 500 plus has been very common. Before that, like the last 4 years before that, wasn't that common to see 900 blocks. Now we just see 900 blocks like almost every other day. Matt, loving the new vids. There's a better quality and overall improvement in all areas. I agree. I'm glad you like them. New camera goes a long way on the shorts, chat. That's for sure. I'm not all fuzzy on the shorts anymore. Big fan. If you look at the old shorts compared to the new shorts, it is a different ball game. All right, if you haven't, make sure you press the thumbs up button down below. Helps out a lot. That being said, as I get the new content rolling out, I'm gonna be a, I don't know if the right word here is a fiend or a simp or whatever, but I'm gonna ask. As the new content, as we get the channel kind of snowballing back up after post shadow ban, getting the new content out, I do appreciate all the likes on all the videos. It does help a lot, even on the shorts. So thank you. I don't like to ask that much, but I'm gonna ask right now because it is importante currently. Chat, Super Bowl yesterday. I turned it off after halftime. I was very bored. That was a terrible game, personally. At least the first half was. It was just all kicking. Snooze fest. Politics aside, did y'all enjoy the halftime show? Bunch of, that was obviously a hot topic going into the day. Politics aside, did you enjoy it? Personally, I thought the production was cool. I thought it was better than Kendrick Lamar production-wise. That being said, I could have used some subtitles. I don't speak Spanish at all. I would have enjoyed to have some idea of what he's singing. I also don't know a single one of his songs, except for the very last song that was playing as he was walking out. And he didn't even play that run. He played it for like 10 seconds, and that was the only thing I knew from him. Production was cool, though. I like the idea of it kind of feeling like a music video, almost. I thought the people being trees, all the trees were people. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, the cameramen were absolutely insane. I completely agree. The production person switching the cameras and all that, absolutely insane. The mic was shot on Peacock that I was watching on, but And again, I don't know a single one of his songs really, and I don't know anything that he's saying. So that was kind of a bummer, but other than that, I think subtitles would have gone a long way for me personally, but whatever. I understand that's not really the point. You don't like that music? I assume you eat plain boiled chicken while listening to Coldplay. We got a wick test here that I am not green lighted to trade for yet, so I won't be taking that wick test. Someone asked if I was going to take it. The answer is no, because we are not 15 minutes into the session yet. Matt, I did a 5K with Saturday with no prep, ran a 33:40. Is that good? Yeah, you finished a 5K. It's great. If you are on the no prep train, it's not about time, it's about finishing. My opinion. So good job. If you're like training or whatever, then you care a little bit more about time. But if you're not really training for anything and you just go do it, it's all about finishing. That's all that matters. We're getting very close, Features the Ghost. How was your weekend? I had a sick kid. Very mellow weekend. We didn't really do anything. It was actually very nice after my last 2 weekends, but... Why the Coldplay hate? I like Coldplay. I've seen Coldplay live twice. Coldplay's just catching strays for no reason. Rourke, are you sore? I'm pretty sore from my weekend. I had a hour, 15-minute big gear workout on Saturday with a little run afterwards, like a tiny micro runoff, and then a run yesterday. My first run outdoors yesterday, so I brought back elevation into the mix. My legs are pretty sore from both of those, I'm not gonna lie. The bike workout was pretty satisfying though. I averaged 170 watts over the entire time, which was my best power output so far. Pretty pumped on that. Yeah. How's the taint? No Diddy? I did Google afterwards. Let's see if it's still in my history. Okay, my exact question was, when will my butt stop hurting from bike riding? If that answers your question for you. I mean, I did an hour and 15 and I was like, okay. Sorry, my allergies are bad. The last like 15 minutes, I mean, I can see it incrementally getting better. That being said, like I lasted an hour pretty comfortably, and I'm doing it on tri shorts because I want to get used to not having the super butt pad situation, because that's not realistic, obviously, for the race. So I'm doing it on tri shorts. I'm getting progressively longer, but like the idea of sitting for 5 hours is currently terrifying. Much more terrifying than the idea of my legs having to work for 5 hours. The more scary part is having to sit on that seat for 5 hours. Did you get chamoy cream? Not yet. Does that numb you? Like, what does it do? Frantically thinking of ways to get you to try Zwift? Bro, I'm on Zwift. I'm exclusively on Zwift. Currently. I'm terrified of riding outside because I'm training in the mornings and I don't want to get hit by a car. So I'm terrified of riding outside. So I'm 100% on Zwift right now. I love Zwift. Actually, Zwift is amazing. It pairs up. My coach puts in programs that it just automatically loads up for me. It's amazing. I'm not having any chafing issues. Not TMI. I'm just straight up not having any chafing issues. It's literally just like painful. I don't really know how else to describe it. TBM Zwift races win. A chamoy and chamois? That's just stupid. They should not spell it like chamois if it's chamois. I'm also a poser bike rider. Go for a refit? Yeah, I mean, I've already gotten a fit once. I honestly also just don't want to take it off of the... I don't want to take it off of the... the trainer. It's such a pain in the butt. Which saddle do you have? Whatever came with the P series. Honestly, the saddle's fine. I think it's not really anything other than I just have not spent enough time on the bike, I think, in my opinion. Because I am noticing it getting more comfortable as time goes on. You know what I mean? Like, I am noticing it getting better. So I think it's really just like, I've got to continue to like log hours. So you're saying it's your butt that's the problem? Technically not my butt. I'm also riding exclusively an Aero, which obviously applies pressure. Yeah, if it's still hurting in 3 months, I'm absolutely changing it. 100%. That's a easy answer. If it's still hurting after this month, I'm probably gonna change it because I'm locked in right now. All right, there's yesterday's Valerie. Hi, chat. Good for riding an Aero. Yeah, I saw people that say they like don't really trade an Aero that much. For me, it's honestly way more comfortable to be an Aero than not an Aero. Like, way more comfortable. I also, I mean, being an Aero is going to save me a ton of time because the Ironman California is really flat for the most part. I think it's like actually totally flat. So Aero will be my best friend. So I just want to be able to sit in Aero for 5 hours. We're close to it, you know? Aero's form is the one where you lean forward like DRS. Yeah, it's when you're like, not sure. Let's see what tomorrow's workout is. Tomorrow, I'm on the bike tomorrow. Currently on the bike 2 days a week. 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Tuesday is an hour and 7-minute pyramid with a 25-minute runoff. Three rounds of 9 minutes done with percentage increases. So 2 minutes at 70%. This is of FTP. 2 minutes at 75%. 1 minute 85%. 2 minutes at 75. 2 minutes at 70. Repeat. 3 rounds. Like, that should be pretty enjoyable, to be honest. And my butt will feel fine after an hour ride. How are we not friends on Discord yet? Actually. I think we are. Oh, we're not. I just sent it to you, Ryan. Oh, wait. Someone tagged the trees. This is what I was talking about with the halftime show. I think this is hilarious. Mom, I made it into the Super Bowl. I'm the tree. Look for me. What do you listen to while riding or running? I don't listen to anything while I'm running. I did an audiobook that I finished. I tend to not listen to anything while I'm running. While I've been biking, this is probably a bad habit. I need to stop it, but I've been watching like YouTube videos or something. I find biking to be significantly more boring than running. Which I gotta like probably lock in for. I do, Javier. He said, because of my time zone, I get home from work 2 hours after the market opens. Do you think there's still good trading possibilities for later on in the day? Absolutely. On high volatility days, some of my favorite times to trade is 11, 12 o'clock. Just wait till you swim for an hour straight. That is boredom. Dude, yeah. I was thinking about it. I have a hard time swimming. Obviously, like 50 meters at a time right now is challenging already. And I'm already bored doing 50 meters. It's like 2 minutes and I'm already bored. Minute and a half, whatever that is. I think it's actually like a minute and 10. I think my 100 time is like 240 or 230 or something. God, I really got to lock in on the swimming. It is, what's the word I'm looking for here? It is, uninspiring, or not. That's not what I'm looking for. It's discouraging. Swimming is discouraging for me, straight up. All right, I'm not uninterested in this 80 test here. Untested wicket 80, 5-minute high. Little sweep through 80 for the push-up. Got a little bit of volume at 70. No shortcuts to swimming, it'll get a lot better. Yeah, it just feels discouraging because I'm like, did everybody really start at like not being able to swim 100 yards straight through? My form doesn't feel that bad right now, to be honest. It doesn't feel that bad. I just like, my heart rate just gets, like, I just get exhausted. Just straight up, I'm tired. And then when I get tired, my form starts falling, and that's when it gets really hard to keep swimming. Oh yeah, unless I had a swim background. Okay, that makes me feel better. It's challenging. I feel uncoordinated doing it. And it feels like running or biking is pretty simple, to be honest, for the most part. And it feels like swimming should be fairly simple, and it's just incredibly not. But we're going to lock in. I've got, how many weeks do I got? I got 35 weeks to figure out how to swim 2.4 miles or whatever it is. $34 weeks to figure out how to swim 2.4 2.4 miles or 2.2, whatever it is. 34 weeks. Not to mention swimming is discouraging because, like, you just have this old dude next to you in the master's class who's just freaking gliding and cruising, man. It just doesn't stop the whole workout. He's just swimming. I'm over here, like, I finished my 50 yards after doing that 4 times in a row. So I swam 200 yards. And I am just sucking air, and he's still just freaking gliding, man. Kind of makes me mad. I'm just glad it's the first part of the race. Just get it over. It's an hour and a half. Get it over with, and then do the parts I enjoy. Enjoy. Julia said, if women can grow babies in that amount of time, you've got this. That is valid. That is a full pregnancy term. 35 weeks. Or close to it. I can swim 2.4 miles. This is pretty ignorant of me to say. I'm honestly really not that concerned about the bike and the run. I know that like in 35 weeks, I'll absolutely be able to do it. The hardest part is going to be the time commitment of long rides on Saturdays and Sundays. That's going to be the hardest part of the whole training thing, is finding time in the day. But I feel very confident in it. I just don't feel confident in the swim currently. Yeah, we got a little bit of sellers. We're just chopping point and control and VWAP right now. We got a block at that volume at 70 something. 98 sitting at 70 volume. 532 contracts down there. I'm not interested in trading point and control VWAP like this. This is a no-go zone for me, straight up. Speaking of It's due date. No, she said she got induced on Sunday. I believe she said she got induced Sunday. So she hopefully has her baby by now. I guess it could have been like Sunday night, but yeah, she should be rocking and rolling in theory. They probably got like an hour of sleep last night. Sick. All right. Well, chat, if you think we're going to break up the upside, pop the highs of the day, the bull flag, type of 1 in the chat. If you think we're going to get a little yoink, type of 2 in the chat. I think we're just going to be stuck at VWAP for the rest of the session, type of 3 in the chat. 1 bull break up, 2, bear breakdown. 3, sideways. Right, these saddles kind of look a little dirty, I'm not gonna lie. Look at this thing. They're cut out at the top. My saddle has the hole in the middle, but it's got a connector here. But I do like the idea of this. I'm not gonna. I do like the idea of this. I think that looks bad. Google shark fin saddle. You know, it's days like this where you have me Googling random stuff that I'm happy I work for myself. What the? Nah, there ain't no way this is real. There ain't no way this is real. No need for a bell when you use this saddle. Everyone will hear your high-pitched screams as you approach instead. Oh. That looks comfy. Pause. Better grip. Yeah, it's more aerodynamic. You definitely need some chamoy cream for that thing. All right. If you typed a 1 in the chat, it's looking like you might be correct. Got buyers trying to approach the highs. We're not quite there yet. Very mellow session compared to the last week. What do I win? You win a high five to yourself. That saddle reminds me of the memes that are currently popping off on Instagram Reels of the got a new mount for my GoPro camera to film my workouts. I'm not pulling that up because I will get shadow banned for that, but that is a funny bit. Incredibly inappropriate, very funny at the same time. I'll let y'all Google that one yourselves. I did send it to you, Ryan. I'm pretty sure I sent it to the group. Let me double check. If not, I sent one to Julia yesterday, and it's the same thing. Same concept. Yeah, I did send it in the group chat. Put it in Discord? All right. It's going in the general chat in Discord. The hashtags also. Days on the trail, zone 2 fun. I forgot I made that video, I'm sure. All right, I mean, we're above yesterday's value or high. It makes sense to rotate into the overnight highs, in my opinion, but we'll see. We will see if that ends up happening. It could also very much be an inside day. We got 20 minutes till IB is formed. Little doji at the highs. Some selling going on. Question is are we gonna slow grind it up or yoink it down, you know? Where something like this could actually be kind of interesting. Back up near the 1 standard deviation. Plus 1 standard deviation, depends on how buyers come through. Guys, candle closing out in 5 seconds, so gonna wait and see what it looks like. 50% retrace of the wick, be 202 and some change. Okay, quick little open push. A little bit of buyers there. I kind of like the idea of us floating the high a little bit into 20, magical 20s. Looking for the yoink after that, but I don't think that we get there. See. We will see. But I like that more. Like I like what I would like is like a push into 220 with delta being heavy. Quick rotation back down. Hey, Ryan's in a mood. He scores a 14 on freaking Kinda Hard Golf and just gets sent over the edge into a new personality. That's actually funny. Your 208 trade would have been a TP? Yeah. There's a little baby sweep of the high. I was looking for a little more. We got a block at 15. 40 sitting at 15. Ryan, what is the, for Ironman marathon pacing? Do most people go off of like a % of what their actual like race time should be? Or do they just race it like a normal marathon race time? Dang. There's the flush. Into the 80s. Nice pull. Coming in yesterday's value high. 75 makes sense. 65 also makes sense. Yeah, I was really just asking, like, do people try to go for like 70% of their marathon time or something like that? I didn't know if there was like a standard there. Or if it's purely just output based. I guess running technically has like power output also, like biking. Where like biking, you're probably going for, like you understand your wattage output for the whole race, probably. Like you probably have like a goal wattage. Plus cadence, I would assume, for the Ironman that you, like you've been training for. And I guess it's probably the same thing with marathon. I still like this 220 spot. I'm gonna let it sit and see if I get the fill. Like the Peloton classes, Cody? That's funny. We should do a Zwift group ride soon. As I get closer to my training, I've been thinking about bringing my bike to my office so I can use my computer and bike at the same time. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but you never know. If I do that, we should absolutely do a group ride. This candle's closing out in 15 seconds also. I'm gonna leave it open. Oh, just barely. Gotta take that off. I missed it by a tick. Which is usually not a good sign. Got decent buyers. We'll see if I would have gotten filled out. I think I should have gotten filled out there. Yeah, I would have gotten filled out. And most likely stopped out break even. And if not, I would be red. So I'm glad I took it off. Make a stream where you trade on the bike? Sounds sketchy. You're just going to be hearing me complain about my saddle. Dev, I use the trade copper built into Sierra chart. That being said, 25 tick stop. I guess that's like a 10 pointer. Yeah. Oh, no, that's like 5 points. Depending on how fast the market's moving, that stop would probably get slipped on most things, depending on how fast it's moving. Long chamois. Yeah. I refuse to call it chamois. I refuse. Unless I'm like in a store where I have to call it a chamois, I'm only going to call that thing a chamois because it looks like chamois. I don't care how stupid that is. I think the word is stupid. More stupid than me calling it a chamois. Sounds like something the slap chop guy would sell. Yeah, I mean, it's literally a sham wow. These are those conditions that long is probably the right way. There's just not a whole lot of opportunity to get long. Why all the hate on this word? I don't know, man. When you see the word chamois, do you think it's chamois or chamois? Just off the top of your head. Yeah, I guess it would be more fun to make fun of other people calling it a chamois than me calling it a chamois. So maybe I will call it a chamois. That way I can make fun of other people calling it a chamois. I don't know. That's a tough decision. I want to get long into the overnight highs, chat. I just am trying to figure out what makes sense for a cheap trade here. There's not really a good spot of invalidation. I don't want to get trapped selling this thing either. We're in kind of no man's land on the sell side, in my opinion. So I think longs make sense. I just want to find a long that also makes sense. It's like maybe the long off 220 makes sense, right? Maybe that does make the most sense. We bounced it a handful of times. It's just like, okay, invalidation's probably there, 211. Below the candle, maybe. As we grind into 250. We got 126 contracts there at 250. Realistically, I probably just missed the trade though, right? Might need to get a little more aggressive with that. Change the name of the channel to Missed Trades by Matt. All right, running into the 250 block. We got IB forming in 10 minutes, chat. We are currently at 0.3% on the session. We were down 0.7 off the open. Change the Discord channel name to Could Have Been Good Gains. Okay. Missed it by 2 points. All right, and what else we got, chat? Come on. We need more. 2 points is his rapper name. It's not bad. Redline Algo is my dubstep DJ name. You know, when music is like really loud, it goes from the green to the yellow zone to the red zone on the mixer board. There's the Redline Algo. I'm open to this if I can get the fill, I think. A buyer's looking, we got some sellers trying to play in here, but it retested the +1 standard deviation, bottom of a little micro range, prior wick, magical 20s, all things I'm interested in there. Playing in the movement that we're going, it's just like, we're probably missed it by 1 point, not even 2 point, not even a 2 point miss on this one. It was a straight up 1 point miss. Rip. For instant TP. Sweet. Love that. My favorite. No, Thiz, you cannot use a bracket order on Trade while copy trading currently. Kara has a baby, leaves us unattended chaos. Yeah. This just shows what good what even one woman in a group of 700 dudes can do. They leave and it's just pure chaos. That is not uncorrelated. I'm trying to decide if I still like this. I don't think I do. This is getting, I think, a little sweepy vibe. Kind of heavy on the sell side. 200 could be interesting. 180 could be interesting. If we're super strong, 200 is better. Psych level 200. There's 200. We just still have sellers here. I'm not gonna take this yet. I like that prior swing high, 189, 190 area. We can sweep through 200. $200 would have given me my base hit. But I don't really feel comfortable with that, with how Delta was reacting. Currently, it's looking a lot better. But I'd like to see a sweep. Sweep push into the prior swing high. 189. Stop right below 180, I think looks pretty okay. I think if we get down to that low, we're probably going to sweep below 65 or so. Books are pretty thin across the board currently. Missed it by a point. Taking that off. I missed it by a point. Usually sweeps it, which it's what is doing. There's the 180 bid. Seller's still kind of looking. Right, that sucks. It's part of it. It's whatever. It's just funny because I just missed another trade by 1 point. 1 point on the Nas is like literally just like a little breath and it's filled. So it's just kind of unlucky more than anything, in my opinion. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. 1 point, 2 1-point missers in a row. Now the question is, do we defend 75 or sweep it into 50, right? Like, or VWAP, right? VWAP at 40. I know it'd be a 35-point flush. 115 block at 86, pulled. Sucks, but the directional view is 100% today. Right. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, I miss it by 1 point. It goes straight to TP. It's whatever. Annoying, but whatever. I'm gonna watch 150 here. I don't know if I'm gonna get the fill, to be honest. We got IB forming in 2 minutes, chat. We got yesterday's close right at 160. Might bounce that instead of 150, but kind of like the idea of pulling into psych level and a little bit of liquidity at 52. I mean, we really don't have that much size on the books right now at all. We have more upside, obviously. And this has been a good little pull. I personally am in the opinion that we still float higher, which is why I'm trying to take longs. I just am trying to get a long that actually makes sense to take. We got a little bit of buyers trying to step up. Looking at the wick here at 150, cycle of 150. A little bit of liquidity sitting there as well. At 150, a little sweep through yesterday's close. The kicker being that we got VWAP at 140. Which I think is on the table in some capacity, but we'll see. You see the consolidation at 150 before, right? So a little bit of support there. See what happens. And I would not be shocked to just watch it straight bid all the way back up. I'm not gonna lie. Buyers are starting to look better. Candle's closing in 20 seconds. Maybe we get a little, heavy sweep off of the candle open. Heavy sweep and push. I would need like a 30-point sweep at this point. We'll see. Chat, if you're watching, make sure you press the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. I got daily shorts coming out every day on the channel at 10 a.m. Little tidbits of advice, trade recaps, things that are important that should be said. So make sure you watch those every day at 10 a.m. And then we got a long form, helpful video coming out every week. Make sure you subscribe. Press the thumbs up button on those videos. It helps out a lot as we get momentum from being shadow banned for a while. Or harmful and dangerous content that didn't exist. False flag. Yeah, see, look, that's the push. And buyers are looking pretty good. I think we continue the grind, to be honest. I want to find a trade that makes sense to get into, and right now I don't see that. IB is set as well. Initial balance is formed. Initial balance is at 54 currently, 20 points higher, 30 points higher. Nice strong candle. Even a pullback to 200 potentially is a go zone, but I don't really think we get the pullback to 200 either. Gracie, you just gotta wait. This whole channel's hard full of dangerous content. Yeah. The reading's on point. Yeah. I mean, the conditions I think are fairly, the conditions are, it's one of those days where the conditions make sense in my head. I just don't know how to find an entry. And then like, if I rush the entry, even on a day where the conditions make sense, if I rush an entry, I always get punished for it. So I would rather be able to see the market and be patient on my entries and take one that actually makes sense than be able to see the market, get frustrated, FOMO, into a position that doesn't make sense and then get wrecked for it. There's nothing worse than being red on a day that you feel like you're seeing the market pretty clean just because you weren't being patient. So I am trying to wait it out to be patient, make a trade that makes sense, even if I am seeing the general condition of the market pretty well so far. I just don't want to get punished for FOMO. You know what I mean? And that's like a real thing. Unfortunately. Not today's buy the dip. Yeah, I've been trying. I've missed 2 of them by 1 point. I had 2 dip buy opportunities I missed by 1 point that immediately went to target. Day 7 billion of asking Matt how Tracer's going. It's going well. Getting closer. I promise you that I want it more than you do. But I also don't want a crappy situation of using it before it's ready. Putting it out before it's ready. Maybe Mike could roll over a little bit here, to be honest. Delta's looking like it. Failed to make a new high. I'm still inclined to think that we go up just because liquidity and the market exists to build liquidity for the most part. I'm still inclined to think we rotate higher. Most likely into the overnight highs, but losing a little steam. These trades are going to be somewhat like TradingView. We are not using TradingView charts. We're implementing the things that I think are worth it from TradingView and getting rid of a lot of clutter that TradingView has. And we're using our own charts because we want to be able to have the ability we got a wick test here. We want the ability to have any chart type that we want, which TradingView does not have. I.e., we want and will have footprint charts, heat map, book map charts, true range charts, 2 trick charts, all those things. You already did it, KP. I'm not going in depth because there's people that watch this stream that do not work at Tradester. We got new highs here, chat. $10 close above, retest of IB, I will get long. That is one of my trade criterias. So IB is at 54, I believe. So I'm looking for a close at like 65, right? Yeah, 54. So close at 64 or higher. So if we close here in 50 seconds, right? If we close at 70, come back down into 55, I would take the long. But I'm not willing to do that before close on the 1 minute candle. Even though you miss trades within a point or two, your accuracy is impressive. Yeah, that's just, again, it's part of the Nasdaq. It's just like part of it. We're constantly sweeping a point or two. I mean, look at the book, right? We're constantly moving a point or two. If I miss a trade by a point or two, or if I take a point or two of drawdown, both of those are basically the same things. Like, it's basically a pretty good freaking entry. I just either got filled or I didn't. It's hard to get true tick entries on the NQ with how it sweeps. I didn't take that because we didn't have a close above 64. I don't have any say in sales, Biggs. But they do have 80% off right now with code TBM. I'm trading 20 of the 50K Apex funded accounts. I like the 50Ks the most. They're on sale right now for 80% off. All the account sizes are on sale for 80% off with code TBM. But I trade with Apex and I use the 50Ks. How do you make your candles wider? You can zoom in or make them smaller by zooming out. So that was a good close. I don't know if I'm going to get the fill here or not. I'm going to give it a little bit of room under 50. We do have like a little bit of liquidity kind of sitting around 45. All right, I got filled long. Right around IB, and it sweeps it. Thick. I probably get stopped out here. Realistically. Yep, there's a stop out. IB didn't hold. I waited for my close. Waited for a retest to look higher. Didn't hold it. Down 12 points. On to the next. See, and that's when it gets frustrating on the 1 point misses. You have two trades that miss by 1 point that go straight to TP, and then you finally get into something that is part of my criteria on an IB trade. IB trades are something I do. On super trendy days, it's a really good looking trade. Today was looking super trendy. Currently not as much, right? And then I get stopped out for 12 points. That's frustrating, but whatever. Liquidity is still there higher. I think we still push. I think I probably needed to give it more wiggle room that I was not willing to do. 5 minute candle didn't close. I don't care about the 5 minute candle close on the IB. I care about 1 minute. But that's personal preference, just like everything else in trading. You can wait for a 5 minute candle close. You can wait for a 30 minute candle close. I don't care. You could wait for the 30-second close. 30-second close would have probably gotten you a fill for 10, 15 points. For me, I followed my rules. Can't do anything about it. 50% retrace of the wick here. Losing a little bit of steam. It's just one of those situations where like I naturally have to fight the urge to short this. If we had volume coming in here going crazy, I would be way more inclined, but like volume is still down at 120. Point of control is still at 120. 130 points lower, 140 points lower almost. There is no reason for me to short this with liquidity higher, so I'm not going to. But I have the urge, just like everybody else probably has the urge to want to fade slow days like this. Mostly saying it to say that you're not alone. However, we got to be smart. And if there's no serious volume being conducted up here at the highs and we have liquidity higher, it doesn't really make sense to short it. So don't do it. Or do it. I don't care. It's your money, your accounts, but I'm not going to do it. Another account pass, GG solo. This is just volume. Melly. Volume by price. Not volume by time. Volume by price. So I got juice through 300 and then the overnight high is up at 350. Ish. I still like the upside move. I just got stopped. How do you play again? I know. I'm thinking about it. See how this candle closes. Like, with the 5-minute close like that too, I think it does look pretty good. But I realistically probably need to give it like that. I think the rotation at 280 looks very nice. But I think it probably does it without me. We'll see. Just one of those ones where it's like, I'm not going to get in over here when we're just like chopping it. I want to see a pull and a comeback. And then we finally close well, like close good enough for it. And then it just makes the move, which is just frustrating. Yeah, there's the move. Still got juice through 300. All right, I'm gonna throw it back up and see. I'm just gonna let it sit. through 280 would be sick. This is not a base hit style trade, obviously. I will watch it and see. It's just if we get a quick reaction, I want to capitalize on that, which I think is possible. Got a little bit of selling going on. And a little bit of juice lower. Well, now it's just that 25 block at 60. But I'm just looking at that liquidity, 280 to 300. It just feels like a nice magnet up there, but we'll see. Missed it by 2 points. Yep, 2 points. Missed it by 2 points. Sick. What a joke. Oy. Matt, when you feel like FOMO is reaching a tipping point, what do you do to reset? I just close down and take a walk, work on something else, open it when I feel like I'm ready, if I ever feel like I'm ready. Matt, you should probably stop trading, not gonna lie. I know, I'm trash, huh? If this rotates to 280, I probably will call it because missed a trade by 2 points. Runs for 25, 30. I'm seeing it, man. I just not freaking getting filled on what I want to get filled on. And then I get filled on the one trade that sweeps and then does it. That's frustrating. That's literally what I was talking about. It's like the worst thing ever when you're... I've missed 3 trades, 2 trades by 1 point, 1 trade by 2 points. All very, very small numbers on the Nasdaq. All went instant winners. The one trade I get filled on stopped out. And that just drives me insane on days where I feel like I'm seeing it cleanly, for the most part. So, I'm going to get out of here. Good luck, everybody. Be smart, be patient. It's one of those days where it's like, I'm keeping it small. I'm down $240 per account, which is annoying when I'm seeing it clean, but it's very easy to get tilted in a situation like that. Look, there's the 300. And we're going to just end up walking it all the way up to 350. I just don't know how to get in a safe way. And I want to live to fight another day and not get tilted out of my mind by continuing to miss trades over and over again. So good luck, everybody. Be smart, be patient. This was a heavy analysis mat day, not a heavy trading mat day, huh? Analysis mat was firing. Trading mat was not. Is what it is. We'll see you tomorrow morning at Market Open. We got a short dropping here in 10 minutes, so make sure you come back and watch that. It helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate you if you do. I actually talked about FOMO in this short. And I'm fighting FOMO right now by walking away. Darn it. So if you want to learn about FOMO, watch the short that's coming out in 10 minutes. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning at Market Open or in Discord. Peace.
We sharp as a tack. He's got his eyes on the Nasdaq, ain't no looking back. He wakes up every morning sipping on that coffee black, trading numbers on his screen, yeah, he's got that knack. He's got his finger on the pulse, knowing when to buy or sell. He's making moves all day, making his portfolio well, from the open bell to the closing bell. He's ringing that cash register. With every trade he makes, he's getting closer to his treasure. He's a Nasdaq cowboy, riding that market wave. TBM ain't afraid to take risks. He's got money to save. He's catching those highs, dodging them lows, making his name. TBM's the king of the Nasdaq, playing his own game. He's a Nasdaq, king of the Nasdaq, playing his own game.